Yo, what's up guys? It's Yellowfin and the new Top Drives update is coming very soon and it looks absolutely amazing. I'm going to be giving you guys a special sneak peek from Hutch that they have given to me about the new Learn the Savannah Way Top Drives update. So this update honestly looks really great. I'm actually really excited for it because it is Australian cars, and let's just jump right into it with the sneak peek. So the first cars I'm going to be showing you are from my PL18 preview pack. So this is the pack that they gave me to show you guys, the one that's not in the live stream. I'll also be going over the live stream pack too, but you'll probably have already seen those cars. But this stuff is really sweet, honestly. So we'll just get right into it. I'm really excited for this update. I'm actually really hyped. I'm going to try and speed run to 500k cash so I can do a cool pack opening. But let's just jump right into it with our first car, which is going to be the Chrysler by Chrysler CH. It's the Chrysler by Chrysler. That's its name. And 1971, 11.562. It's not the most exciting car. Really, this isn't the most exciting. The more exciting stuff is to come later in the video. But still, it's pretty cool to see another car just added to the game in general. I honestly did not have very much to say about this one, so we'll just skip on right to the next car, which is actually, I'd say, a bit cooler, which is this. The Holden Toronto GTR XU1, which confirms not only are we getting new Chryslers, but we're also getting Holden added to the game. I mean, we kind of have Holden with that Vauxhall Maloo-ish, but it's branded under Vauxhall. I mean, we're getting Holden as like an official brand, and it's probably will have its own little thing now in the game with all the other brands. So hopefully we get it where it's its own little brand then. But Holden Toronto, Australia, 8.8 seconds 0 to 60, which is actually pretty solid. I don't really have my common 0 to 60 maxed out memorized, but it will be something in the 7s, I believe. Yeah, because that Alfa Romeo, I'm trying to think of like that Alfa Romeo Spider, it hits 7.0 flat. So probably something in the 7 seconds 0 to 60 range will be a pretty solid performance tire car. Also, it does look like it might be medium ground clearance. At least in that picture, it looks medium ground clearance. So we'll have to see. But that looks like a pretty solid clubs car for common RQ rarity. So next up after the Holden Toronto is going to be this. The Chrysler by Chrysler 360. Honestly, it's just a pretty sweet looking car. The stats look kind of underwhelming. 8.5 seconds 0 to 60, 62 handling. Nothing too crazy about its stats, but it's just an amazing picture. It's actually got some pretty solid placement on it, and it's just a really sweet looking car as well. So definitely one that I'll be happy to collect and keep. But let's just move on from that one because there's not too much special to say. But this next one, I'm sure some of you guys will like. Ford Falcon Bathurst Cobra. The Ford Falcon Cobra is being added to the game from 1978, one of the Australian cars. I don't really know much about Australian cars, honestly, but this is one of the Australian cars I actually knew, like that I know quite a bit about, so I'll definitely take a Ford Falcon Cobra being added to the game. Really excited to see this one added. 7.60 to 60, 69 handling, probably medium ground clearance, so it will be a pretty decent fast circuit car, I could say. Will max out with like 76, 77 handling, is my guess. I'd assume 76 is probably what I'm guessing. 7.6 seconds 0 to 60, so that's maybe like 6.4, I'd say. So 6.4, 76 honestly isn't too bad, I'd say. It's decent. It's decent. It's mid-range. It'll also be interesting to see what the MRA is on it since it's a Cobra. After the Ford Falcon, we are also going to see the Holden Piazza Turbo, which will max out at 83 handling. I do know that stat. 0 to 60, I'm honestly not too sure, but 83 handling is pretty solid. I'm assuming it'll probably hit what, like 7 point something? 7 point, I don't know. So honestly not sure if it'll be medium or low ground clearance. Could possibly be medium. Yeah, I'd assume it's going to be medium. Based on its stats right now, I'd assume it's going to be medium, but we will have to see later. But this does look like a pretty solid high RQ performance tire cars. We have a lot of them, but this will just be another nice one to have added to the game to keep, especially if we start to see Australian events. This might actually be a pretty solid RQ saver for those events. Then, after the Holden Piazza, we are going to jump to rares. Yep, the Holden Cruise. It's basically just a rebadged Chevy Cruise, SRIV, but 78 handling actually stands out on this car. 78 handling for standard tires is actually really good. That's going to be 86 maxed out. 86 handling on this bad boy. Probably 7.2 seconds 0 to 60, 7.3 would be my guess. I'm honestly not sure. I don't really know how far down 0 to 60 goes with these more lower tier cars. I haven't really memorized those yet. Top speed is low, but that's what's keeping the RQ low. So this actually does look like a very solid standard tires car. Definitely one I'd probably recommend keeping. Medium ground clearance as well, I'm betting on this bad boy. After the Holden Cruise, we've got another rare, which is the Holden HDT Commodore SS Group A. This will max out at 83 handling. I do know that. 83 handling and maxed. It'll max out max with those handlings of 83. Also 6.50 to 60, so I'd guess 5.4. 5.4, 83. Does not sound too bad. Sounds like a pretty decent all-rounder. 80s car as well, but the real thing, it's just such a sweet looking car, the Holden HDT. That's just great looking, cool. I don't have very much to add. That's the thing. I don't know very much about any of these cars, really. I'm not very educated in Australian cars, but this new update will definitely educate me on it. And next is the Holden HSV Club Sport. HSV being a tuner company, which is very interesting to see because we were going to have that tuner car update in the future where you could upgrade your cars to become a tuner car. But seeing as HSV is going to be a part of the Holden brand, I don't know, something might be going on. Something interesting might be happening, so it'll be interesting. That update is very, very far down the road, though, as they've said in their recent road trip, so it'll be interesting to see if they'll consider HSV a tuner or not, or how many HSVs we will receive in this new update with Holden, because I can tell you, there are quite a few more HSVs going to be seen in this video, but this one, medium ground clearance, I'd assume 83 handling, 6.6 seconds 0 to 60. I'm just going to stop guessing on those 0 to 60 times. I have no clue, but sweet looking car, looks like a pretty solid all-rounder for the city streets. Then, after this Holden, we are jumping up to Super Rare with a pretty solid looking one. 86 handling on this guy. I've got those handling numbers down. I have those calculated. 0 to 60, I said I was going to, I think this is 5.0. 5.0, 86 is what this will max out as. Medium ground clearance, definitely. Looks like just a pretty solid low RQ car. It's a rebadged Vauxhall Astra. 2019. It's got performance tires, though, which is pretty interesting. I would have assumed it had standard tires. That's what I thought it had first when I saw this teaser, but nope. It's got perfs on it, so pretty interesting. Will be a decent car. Interesting to see how well it'll perform. This one, though, I am pretty excited about. The Holden HSV GTS. 5.4 seconds 0 to 60, 79 handling. That'll max out at 87. Yes, 87 handling maxed out. 0 to 60 will be, I don't know. Something in the 4 seconds. I can tell you that with major confidence. So, I believe this will be low, though. It'll be interesting. It'll be insanely good if it's medium, but based on these stats, I'm assuming it's going to be low ground clearance. Or it just has really crap MRA, maybe, but for it being a Holden HSV tuned by a tuner car company, you'd think it might have some pretty solid MRA on it, so it'll be interesting to see. Another car after this is also pretty exciting to see. I'm assuming this one's also low. It's the Ford FPV F6 Typhoon. We are also getting, well, I guess we already saw we're getting new Fords, but Australian Fords. Fords is getting that overhaul. 5.4, 81. That's a pretty solid handling on it as well. Very nice looking. I'm not sure if it'll have medium ground clearance. Probably not, because this guy will max out at 90, so probably low. Ultra Rares now, it's a rebadged Vauxhall Calibra Turbo. We already have it in the game, but Holden now, so you can use that in Australia if you want. Same stats and everything, I believe. Much lower RQ, though. I'm pretty sure the Vauxhall is 56 RQ, so that'll be interesting to see. Maybe we'll get some more RQ changes with this update. Next up, though, there isn't much too special to say about this guy, but after this, Holden Commodore SSV Redline. This guy is definitely medium ground clearance, I'd have to say. 91 handling maxed. 0 to 60 is 4.23? 4.391, I'd say, maxed out at 233. That would be my guess, but 170 miles per hour top speed, 4.391. That is, or 4.2 actually. Let's go with 4.2. Yeah, 4.2 sounds a bit more correct. 4.2, 0 to 60, 91 handling, maxed out at 233. Medium ground clearance, I'm going to assume. I mean, it looks medium. It should be medium, in my opinion. Will be interesting to see the MRA then. But honestly, this is just a really sweet car in general, though. So it will be pretty nice to see in the game. I'd honestly put this one on my wish list to see. Definitely would like to pull this one from a pack. Then we have the last ultra rare of this video, the Holden HSV Avalanche. This guy looks medium ground clearance. I doubt this guy will be high ground clearance, but 6.9, 74, pretty solid ultra rare stats. I'd assume it would be pretty lightweight as well, since it is just a jacked up Holden truck, I believe. Holden Ute. I'm pretty sure. I honestly have no clue though. I might be completely wrong, but it's okay. It's still cool looking. And of course you guys want to see the epics now. That's probably what you've all been waiting for. First epic, Holden HSV Gen F Grange. 4.9, 83, RQ65, definitely medium ground clearance. Could have some pretty solid MRA on it. Honestly, I'm not too sure, but it does not look pretty bad. Honestly, it just looks solid. And the last car, which is surprisingly not a legendary, the Holden HSV Club Sport R8 Tourer Estate. It has one more handling than the previous car. That's about all to say for it. It's got medium ground clearance, but pretty interesting stuff. Then we also have the live stream cars, which you guys probably will already have seen in the live stream, so I'll just more talk about it. Chrysler Drifter van, they made the Chrysler Drifter a van. We already have the Chrysler Drifter in the game, but it's got a cool wagony thing going for it, so that's pretty cool. It will just be an interesting one to collect. It's honestly just cool looking. Performance tires on it though, which is interesting. Holden Monero GTS sedan. This is a really sweet picture of it going through the mud. I'd assume it's mud. Looks kind of like sand, sandy mud. But yeah, performance tires on it, 9.3 seconds 0 to 60. Honestly, does not look too bad. Then, after the Holden Monero, we got the Ford Laser SR2. This thing is really sweet looking. I'm just going to collect it because of how cool it looks, but it should max out at 85 handling. So, will be a useful one to keep your eye out for as well. I'm assuming it'll be pretty lightweight. It looks like a lightweight car, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for pulling that one. Holden Barina SRI, also pretty cool looking, will max out at 83 handling. Medium ground clearance, I'd assume as well. RQ29 performance tire cars, you really should just keep all your RQ29 performance tire cars. They'll be useful everywhere. Then, another one is the Ford Falcon XR8. 6.476 performance tires, similar to that Holden HSV, that was RQ39 I showed you guys earlier. Similar type of thing it's got going for it. Also just pretty cool looking in general. I like all the wings that all these cars have. This one also, Holden HDT Director. I've seen this car before. I don't know where, but that guy looks pretty clean next to that Holden HDT, so we'll be excited to collect that one as well. Looks like it might have some pretty decent MRA on it with that low handling. Then, Holden Monero CV8, 5.7 seconds 0 to 60, 80 handling. Looks like a Pontiac GTO. That's about all I have to say about it. I don't know enough about these cars, and I don't know if they'll be medium or low or not. They look medium, but I'm not confident enough to say that they will be medium. This guy will be medium. 7.5, 75 handling in his standard tires, which is pretty interesting. Rear-wheel drive as well, so this will be an interesting one to see. We haven't seen that many standard tires, higher RQ cars. Just seems like a lot of performance tires, but this update definitely will provide a lot of interesting super rares. I'm not sure if any will be meta changing, but there are going to be some interesting ones. Holden Astra VXR, this one's definitely medium ground clearance, I'd have to guess. 5.9, 80, that's going to max out at 89 in like 4.9, maybe 4.8, something like that, I'd guess. I don't know. But pretty solid stats for it being medium ground clearance is what I'm assuming. So looks like one you definitely want to keep. Then, the Ford FPV Pursuit. This guy's definitely medium. 5.90 seconds 0 to 60, 79 handling. It's a Ute, and it's just great looking. That picture is amazing as well. Perfect placement on that car right there. I mean, maybe you could bump it up a little bit, move it up a bit higher, but it's honestly perfect. It's much better than a lot of other old photos in the game. So, definitely kudos to Hutch with this one. This is a great looking car. Definitely will be excited to collect this one. And since you guys are seeing all these cars released in the pack, this means these are not prize cars. All these cars will be able for you guys to collect, which might be why we haven't seen a legendary yet from these packs. Ford FPV GT Cobra R-Spec, looks like a pretty solid low RQ, grippy car. Same goes for the Ford FPV GS. They're pretty similar, just one's got a 0.1 second lower 0 to 60. This is an interesting one, 4.5, 78. The Holden Effigy. This thing just looks like it has a crap ton of MRA, so we're just going to assume it's got some crap ton MRA on it. 180 top speed as well. Will be pretty useful for the drag strip, I bet. since it does have the highest top speed we've seen so far, I believe. Holden Ute, SSV Redline, similar to the previous Holden we saw before, except this one is a Ute, which just makes it cooler. Utes just make everything cooler, honestly, in my opinion. Then we've got another Ute, the Holden HSV Maloo. So that leaves the question, will the other Maloo in the game, the Vauxhall Maloo, switch over to Holden? And will that be a Maloo as well? Or not a Maloo, but a Holden Maloo now, instead of the Vauxhall Maloo. It'll be interesting to see, since it is Australian in the game, so we'll have to see. Ford Territory Turbo, it's cool. Just another four-wheel drive all-surface tires. Looks similar to like the Nissan X-Trail, kind of. Then, this is an interesting one. 6.677 Holden Commodore Cali SV Tourer. Honestly, looks like it is medium ground clearance, but 6.677 does not shout medium ground clearance. 155 top speed, though. That is some pretty solid top speed on it, so that'll be an interesting one to see. Also looks kind of lightweight, so we will have to see there. Then, Ford Falcon XR6 Sprint, definitely going to be a medium ground clearance unit. Well, I wouldn't say unit, but it's going to be a cool looking medium ground clearance car, that's for sure. That's the thing. None of these cars really shout game changer, but they're all just sick looking. Like, I'd totally be all about collecting all these. Here we go, another one, the Holden HSV Club Sport R8, 4.885, and just it's dope looking. Like, that's all I got to say about these. All these cards just look sick. The pictures are perfect. The cars are sweet looking. Here's another one, Holden HSV W427. It's a white background, which is kind of meh since it's a white background, but the car's white, and it's just such a good looking car. You can't really complain, and the placement is done well. It's just, I'm really excited for this update. I really want to collect all these cars, even though some of these might not be major game changers, but they just look awesome. That's the thing. I'm really excited for this update, honestly. I am more excited for this update than Lock to Lock. Lock to Lock, I was like kind of excited. There's like some cool looking cars and some good cars. But these, I just want to collect these. Like, these just will look cool in my garage to have. So very excited for this update. Definitely excited for what Hutch is going to bring us in the future. So really, really cool. That's honestly what I have to say. I'm honestly hyped. So that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this type of content, make sure to definitely hit the subscribe button. At 2,000 subscribers, 2 million pack opening. So hit that subscribe button if you aren't subscribed yet. Join the Discord server, link in the description. We will have cool update conversations and crap happening. So join the server, link in the description. I'm Yellowfin. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.